What if I told you there's an electric SUV that can travel up to 1,400 kilometers on a single charge, costs less than the premium EVs you know, and might just be the first Chinese luxury SUV ready to shake the US market? Today, we're diving into the 2026 Voyah Taishan, and trust me, its biggest surprises aren't what you think. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're exploring a vehicle that's already turning heads worldwide. The 2026 Voyah Taishan is positioning itself as one of the most ambitious electric SUVs of the decade. Bold design, luxury interior, and a range number that doesn't even sound real, 1,400 kilometers. Let's find out how much of this is hype, and how much is the next big leap in EV engineering. Starting with the exterior, the Voyah Taishan looks like it was designed with a ruler, a wind tunnel, and a bit of confidence. Sharp cut lines, wide stance, and a front LED signature that feels more Scandinavian than Chinese. The grille is closed, the air ducts are functional, and the entire body sits low enough to whisper efficiency. From the side, the proportions scream luxury SUV, sleek roofline, flush door handles, and 21-inch wheels that fill the arches perfectly. This is the kind of EV that makes you wonder, why aren't the traditional automakers doing this? Step inside, and things get even more interesting. The Taishan's interior is a blend of minimalism and tech overload, but in a good way. You're welcomed by a sweeping panoramic screen that stretches across the dash. The materials: soft touch everywhere, polished metal, and vegan leather that feels better than most real leather. The seats are heated, ventilated, massaging, and fully adjustable. The cabin feels like a lounge with wheels. Ambient lighting wraps around the cabin like it's hugging you. And the sound insulation: surprisingly impressive. In fact, Voyah claims a cabin noise level rivaling premium German SUVs. This is where the Taishan flexes. The infotainment system uses a high-refresh 4K display with a UI that feels closer to flagship smartphones than car screens. Voice assistant: shockingly responsive. Gesture control: optional but fun. Over-the-air updates: of course. But the real highlight is the Level 3 autonomous driving suite, packed with LiDAR, radar, and enough sensors to make the vehicle almost too aware of its surroundings. On highways, the system can change lanes, manage traffic, and even reposition itself based on optimal range conditions. Now, performance. The 2026 Taishan comes with dual motors producing around 400 plus horsepower, depending on the configuration. The acceleration is surprisingly quick for an SUV weighing over 2 tons. 0 to 60. Mid 4-second range, firmly in performance SUV territory. The suspension system blends air suspension and adaptive dampers, making the ride floaty when you want comfort and tighter when you need control. Cornering feels stable, confidence-inspiring, and far above what most people expect from a brand not named Tesla, Mercedes, or BMW. And now, let's address the giant number floating over this EV. 1,400 kilometers. That's 870 miles. No, it's not a typo. And no, it's not a theoretical lab dream. The Taishan achieves this through a combination of a next-generation solid-liquid hybrid battery, ultra-efficient motors, smart thermal management, and a super aerodynamic body profile. In mixed real-world driving, you're unlikely to hit the full 1,400, but even 1,000 kilometers is enough to change EV habits entirely. Charging: up to 500 kilowatts peak. That's 10 to 80% in around 15 minutes under ideal conditions. Safety-wise, the Taishan brings a complete suite: collision avoidance, adaptive cruise, pedestrian alert, cross-traffic braking, and a 360-degree panoramic system that looks almost too sharp. Early tests show extremely strong crash safety results, matching or exceeding many European rivals. So what does all this cost? Here's where things get spicy. Depending on market and battery size, the 2026 Voyah Taishan undercuts luxury EV competitors by thousands. You get the tech, the range, the performance, without the premium badge tax. Rivals include the Tesla Model X, Mercedes EQE SUV, BMW 9, and even some offerings from NIO and Li Auto. And in almost every spec comparison, the Taishan is punching above its weight. So what's the verdict? The 2026 Voyah Taishan is bold, efficient, luxurious, and shockingly competent. It feels like a glimpse into the EV future, where long range is normal, charging is fast, and design doesn't have to be boring. Is it perfect? No. Brand trust is still developing, charging networks outside China may be limited, and long-term reliability is still unknown. But one thing is very clear. This SUV just forced the rest of the EV world to wake up. If Voyah continues on this path, the Taishan might not just be the best EV you haven't heard of, it might become the best EV you can actually buy.